What's up, Virgo Collective? Thank you for joining me for your energy reading. Um, I hope that all is well with you all. If it's your first time joining me, welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm about to head out the door in about a good 20-30 minutes. And since I had a little time, I was like, let me go ahead and at least try to get one of these zodiac readings out. And so here we are. Continuing with the role opener readings, getting you guys some messages to help you open roads where you're energetically blocked in your lives. Um, so we got some advice. We're bringing some things to the forefront, calling some shit to the carpet. So y'all just hang tight, and I'm going to be exploring this New Year spread that I initially did for myself. Enjoyed it, got some great insight from it, and so I decided to do use that same spread for the collective. So your opening message here does not come as a surprise, because when I was picking out the decks that I was going to use for you all's reading, I was led to the power of love. So that let me know there's something emotionally blocked with you all, and therefore you're needing some role opener work of some kind in order to open those roads as it relates to your emotions. And your opening message is: attracting emotionally unavailable people is a sign of being emotionally unavailable to yourself. So, in my experience with Virgos, this is very true. um, because Virgo is a earth sign, one that struggles with this whole concept of perfection, um, and looking for perfection in others, and other not just people but situations as well, is an outward reflection of that feeling the need to be perfection or the lack of perfection in oneself. But newsflash, like the words of Stacy Bart's song, we are all flawed, beautiful people, honey. There's no such thing as perfection. You know what I'm saying? Not according to society's standard, and that is the thing that hangs a lot of us up. And so we're needed to understand that the emotional absence that you feel in others, or the lack of emotional connection that you feel in others, is a result of you being emotionally unavailable to yourself, and it's blocking your blessings. And so you're needing to do the work to become more emotionally available to yourself. And that's taking time to sit with and identify, name, and claim your emotions, even exploring the origin, where they come from, allowing yourself to feel and get comfortable with feeling your emotions. You are a human being. So that's part of the journey. So you definitely want to invest more into your emotional health. For many of you, that may include therapy, which is perfectly fine. Since perfection is such a huge deal, it's perfectly fine to take your ass to therapy. Sit and talk to somebody. And therapy does not have to be a psychologist, a psychiatrist. Tarot readings are a form of therapy. You can get sound healing. That's therapy. A walk in the park can be therapy, but you're needing to do things intentionally to help you face and heal what you've been experiencing, what has been keeping you stagnant or blocked up to this point. And if you can't own it, there's a air of self-righteousness that you're needing to really take a look at. You know what I'm saying? Really explore, because I don't believe that we all have the exact same experiences. You know what I'm saying? All of our journeys tend to look different with different variables and whatnot. But at the same time, like, we all have emotions. Some of us just block them. Some of us have gone through traumatic things that have blocked them. And so it's just a matter of being intentional to feel. It's okay to feel. It's perfectly okay to feel. And the thing that's going to help you to thrive instead of just being in survival mode. Oh, my ear itching, Lord. I don't know what that means for y'all. Maybe y'all need to do a better job of listening to hear and receive and understand, opposed to respond. Maybe that's something that's blocking you, because out of nowhere my ear just started itching. But you needed to take responsibility. Not only take responsibility, but take care of your responsibilities in order to thrive in this chapter of your life. In 2024, the thing that's going to separate you from surviving and thriving is your responsibilities. So it says you are aware of the power of your thoughts and the amount of love you express. You are responsible for your emotional health. So where you may have been passing the buck, blaming other people, leaving it up to other people to determine how you feeling and how you move throughout your journey, you needed to take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility for how you're feeling. If you're feeling taken advantage of, and you may be being taken advantage of, but nobody's responsible for that but you. We are the only ones who can draw those boundaries. We are the only ones who can stop people from taking advantage of us. We are the only ones who can not only stop them, but maintain boundaries with ourselves that therefore protects us from being taken advantage of again. And we are also responsible for keeping our hearts open even when we have these experiences. Don't let that be the boundary that you draw. Oh, I'm just not going to love again. I'm not going to be open to friendships again. I'm not going to ever let nobody give nobody no money. I'm not going, like, don't draw those boundaries that keep your heart closed and that affect the good relationships that you have or the good experiences that you can be having. But take responsibility for discerning what is worth you investing in and what you shouldn't, or not so much. And so you want to be mindful of that, the action that you're needing to take. Individuality. Doing the work to express more of who you are, regardless of your societal conditioning, how your family has conditioned you, what your friends say, what's cool and trendy and what's not. Do you. Do what makes you happy. Express your authentic, creative, unique self. So it says here that you leave your unique stamp of love on everything that you do. But when you don't practice or stand in your individuality, when you don't own it and take responsibility for it, then you don't leave your own unique stamp of love on everything that you do, because you're leaving that residue of what everybody else walking around with. You know what I'm saying? All of the people who don't have the courage or the strength or the desire to be their individual selves, so they just walking around as carbon copies of one another and doing what they see everybody else doing. You were not created to do that. We're all unique expressions of the divine. So it is indeed a slap in God's face when we move throughout our lives on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment, doing what's acceptable in the sight of man. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't create the blueprint. The divine did. So it will behoove you, especially to open roads in your life where they have been blocked. Be yourself. Be yourself so that your light can shine, your authentic light can shine, and you can attract the tribe that is meant to support you. meant to pour into you, the people you're meant to pour into and have divine connection with, people that you can be comfortable with being yourself with. That's who you want to energetically connect with. But in order to do that, you're gonna have to be yourself. How the fuck you gonna associate with, connect with musicians, but you never talk about your love for music? You never play music. You're never around music. You never express that part of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You too busy at the playing spades, or you too busy at the racetrack, or you too busy doing something, because nothing against none of that. My point is that you too busy doing the shit that is acceptable amongst your peers, or that is societally acceptable, and not doing the things that you actually desire to do. You actually desire to paint, but you're never around artists. You're never able to attract artists because you never express that part of yourself. That's the thing you do in the dark. That's the thing that you do when it's just you. So it's time to come out of hiding, get to know your authentic self for who you are, and to connect with your tribe. But you're only going to be able to do that as an individual, and not trying to be like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So the thing that you're needing to let go of is Russia. You got the eight of wands here, which represents speed. It also represents movement and progress. So detach from how the progress comes about, and just keep doing the things. Keep doing what innately, I ain't talking about on the surface level, but on a deeper level, makes you feel good. For some of you, with this eight of wands being the thing that you need to let go of, you need to be still. Sit down somewhere, get some rest, chill out, let go of feeling like you got to be moving so fast and so much. Eight of wands also being a sign of communication, and we also got that message of the ear itching and listening. Be quiet, listen, ask questions and listen, learn. Practice silence sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like we exert a lot of energy when we are talking, and for a lot of us, we could really stand to talking is totally fine. I'm not saying don't talk, be quiet, go into hermit mode and just be a mute. I'm not saying that. But sometimes you need to be intentional about silence, or be intentional about being quiet, be intentional about letting your throat chakra rest. And then speaking when you really have something meaningful to say. You know, saving that energy for a time when it's really needed. So you want to be mindful of that as well. But I think that message also supports that message of listening, because sometimes when we're in conversation, people don't want to tell you that you doing all the talking and not enough listening. And so we want to be mindful of that as well. Hell, I think I'm guilty of that. But as a result of having an experience or few experiences of talking to somebody whom I really appreciated their listening skills, it really prompted me to look at how I show up in conversation and interaction with people, and fine tune my listening skills. So that's something I've been being intentional about, and I'm advising that you guys do the same. Your main focus in 2024, as you are opening blocked roads for yourself, is to imagine that there is better out there for you. Plan, look further than where you are. How do you want to move ahead? Because you have the whole world in your hands. You see this guy here with the two of wands. He got one in his hand, which means he's aware of what it is that he's passionate about. And then he got another something that he's passionate about with this other one over here, secured over in the corner. Because should he run out of steam or whatever, he got another one over here. And then he got a free hand that has, well, it ain't necessarily free, but it ain't got a one in it. It's got a globe, because the whole world is out there to be explored. So consider how you want to move forward, who you want to move forward in partnership or collaboration with, and move forward in that direction. Make those plans. Imagine what life could be like for you, and then start to actually put your energy towards that goal, that connection, whatever it is. This card often speaks to travel or moving, relocating. So for some of you, if that's something that you're wanting to do, that's your main focus for this year, make that move. But make sure that you are planning and that you're putting the right energy behind the move that you are wanting to make, or the collaboration or partnership that you're entering into. And then with that being next to the 8 of Wands, 8 Wands and the 2 of Wands giving you the 10 of Wands. The reason you needed to be mindful of the speed with which you're moving, and also the intensity of communication, or just like not taking your time and being intentional, is because the 10 of Wands is energetic overwhelmed. You don't want to burn yourself out. You don't want to get overwhelmed, and so that's why it's important to make sure that you're not operating in that 8 of Wands energy of moving too fast. Take your time. New opportunities are going to present themselves in the form of with the 6 of Cups, reunion, exploring the inner child, putting your focus toward inner child healing. What makes you feel good, what makes you feel like a kid in the candy store, you know what I'm saying? Things of a nostalgic nature that remind you of happier times. You're going to find new opportunities unfolding for you when you encounter this type of energy. So this is giving me like a fresh start with something or someone that you are already familiar with. You're already familiar with it, and that coming back around to it gives you emotional fulfillment of some kind. And it being next to individuality, it's a situation or a dynamic where you're led to be more of your authentic self. You can be comfortable with being more of your authentic self. So this is like bumping into an old friend, and that old friend reminds you of who you were before certain aspects of yourself changed according to societal conditioning, or who you started hanging around, or what traumatic thing happened to you, or whatever changed you from being your authentic self to more like the people that you hang around, or being affected by the places that you frequent the most. That type of an energy. So be mindful of new opportunities, whether it's you creating them for yourself, or you being on the receptive end of them from the divine or others, relative to the 6 of Cups energy of reuniting, feeling like a kid again, or being intentional about inner child healing. So the part of yourself that needs to be acknowledged is kindness. Some of y'all have such big hearts and you're kind, but the world has taught you to be an asshole or be emotionally unavailable, like your opening message, because of your past experiences, because of how you've experienced other people, when honestly, who you are as an individual, as your unique self, is actually a really kind person. But you holding back and you holding out, and the divine is like, no, that is blocking your blessings. You are not meant to match them people's energy and show up like that. Instead, you are to draw boundaries with people who are low vibe and will drain your energy and tempt you to respond in that way. And instead, challenge yourself to be intentional about aligning with people who are just as kind as you. So it says, you are a humanitarian made of love, and you are able to share that energy with others. Not only are you able, this is calling for you to be willing. And to not only be willing, but to do it. Be kind. I don't know if that needs to show up in random acts of kindness or being kind toward a certain person, but you literally got this kindness energy showing up in the Six of Cups with this one person handing this other young lady some flowers, an act of kindness. So you may be needed to think about somebody from your past whom you could show some kindness to, reunite and reconnect with. Um, but that's that part of you that you've been neglecting that needs to be reinvigorated, that you need to tap back into, and it's gonna make you feel so good. It's gonna contribute to this main focus energy of the world is my oyster and I can go anywhere and do anything, because you're putting out positive energy, which means that positive energy is going to come back to you. So your best approach to challenges is to consider the cause and effect. What happened that then was the domino effect of the response? What did I do that then contributed to this being the outcome? What can I do to get the outcome that I desire? So it's this cause and effect. You are aware that the love you create in your thoughts is an agent of change and the foundation of your results. This is challenging you to change your level of consciousness, how you think, because how you think then affects your actions and your reactions. And so you're definitely wanting to, when you approach challenges, something that kind of throws you off center, creates some sense of chaos, or presents some kind of obstacle in your life, consider the cause and effect. If I respond this way, then this gonna be the outcome. Is this the outcome that I want? You know what I'm saying? Really stop and think before you move, especially if you're tempted to move in ways that you've been moving. Because all of this is about you opening roads. So it means that you're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to react differently to things. Consider the cause and effect. And then your closing message. Your intuition provides warning signals that should not be ignored. Warning signals are not always bad, but whether good or quote unquote bad, you want to pay attention to your intuition as you move forward, intentional about opening roads. Your intuition will never steer you wrong. So you definitely want to take the time out to work with your third eye, work with the color purple. There are frequencies all over these internet streets that could help you to open your pineal gland, which is the same as your third eye, this section right here between your brows. Certain crystals, you can work with amethyst. If you're in need of some amethyst crystal, I do have a few pieces. I'm working on getting me or looking into starting an Etsy shop, but I want to make sure that I do my research about it first before I really commit to it. So that as I'm suggesting these things to you all, you can just go on over to the site and get what you need in terms of your spiritual hygiene and healing tools. But yeah, trust your intuition. If your intuition is leading you toward a certain something or a certain somebody, a certain song, maybe have some lyrics that are speaking to you, a certain book, working with certain colors, whatever the case, trust your intuition. If your intuition is telling you that something ain't right and somebody ain't right, listen. Because as you can see, it is a part of you doing the work to open roads that have been blocked in your life. And for many of you, like I said, these blocks are emotional blocks that are blocking your abundance. And who wants that? We all trying to prosper out here. So I hope the message found you well, Virgo. If it did not find you well, I hope that it leaves you well. If you're needing personal, private assistance with anything, feel free to book a tarot reading or a sound healing session, an inner childhood healing session, or just a consultation by emailing me at turquoisemajesty@gmail.com. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments down below should you desire. I do respond. And with that being said, y'all, until next time, peace.